So my courses and other courses out there will be a luxury to most people until they get themselves back on the feet. So it's a worry for me.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm hearing from the people in America who are locking down in New York that they're doing black market fades for $100 because people are screaming at them. You know, I've had people come here today. I live upstairs, Mark. People come to me saying, "Are you open?" I said, "Are you joking?" He's like, "No." I said, "Listen, mate, this is the reason why we're going to be in big trouble because you're doing this. You've been told to stay in your house. Stay in your house.
Yeah.
Just stay in your house.
Absolutely.
Go to the shop and stay in your house."
Yeah.
Mark, right? I spoke to, obviously, a lot of people know who I am. They know I'm a conspiracy theorist on whatever, or truther or whatever people want to call people. I'm just a guy who questions everything. I like to question everything. I want to know how everything works. I like digging deep on stuff. I never write anything off. But I was arguing with my dad this morning because I still haven't seen anything with my eyes. And it's hard to believe. So I decided to ring my mate Dave in Italy. And, you know, I nearly broke down after I spoke to him. It's horrendous there. It is horrendous. I've spoken to somebody who's there. He is gutted. He's got it. He's panicking. They can't go to the hospital. There's no room. There's nothing there. And then I run my cousin in Spain. It's the same thing there, but they've got the military out. They've got the army out there. It's 30,000 euro if you get caught out or you get locked up. It's crazy. And then I spoke to somebody in Germany, my friend Westy, and he said that they locked down 2 weeks ago and they're doing one in, one out of everywhere. They're staying away from everyone. And there's been only a handful of cases and only one death.
Yeah. But,
so what does that tell you? Let's follow the Germans.
But we are, 2, 3, 4 weeks behind, you know, Europe. And it's...
No. We're 2, 3 weeks behind Italy, but Germany are 2, 3 weeks behind us, apparently. That's what I've been told from what I'm getting from everybody, how it's moving. It's shifted up. It's missed France completely.
No,
France is going to be full. Yeah, they've got it. But what I'm saying is when Germany go really bad in about 4 weeks' time, just after us, they're going to go really bad. France will go. It'll go mad. It will go mad. Yeah, people don't realise how bad this is.
Well, I've got colleagues and friends all across the world, so I've been in contact with them from Russia. You know, where people keep saying Russia's quiet and what's going on in Russia.
Yeah, what's going on?
But Russia's the same as us, but of course Russia's a closed nation, so they're not public in what they do in terms of their media. The media is almost shut down anyway. So they're in exactly the same situation as we are. So they're on shutdown. The salons are shut down. Same as Romania. Romania have been shut down now for 2 weeks. Schools were shut down first, similar to us, but all of their salons are shut down as well. So in terms of what I call the ex-communist or communist countries, they're in exactly the same position as we are. But they took the bigger steps, unlike the government at the moment, where they've said, well, construction companies can stay open, but you can still mix with each other. I mean, last night watching the news was crazy. So the journalist stood outside this construction site, and she's saying, you know, they've been told to stay 2 meters apart, and yet you see in the background, they're almost touching each other. And
I've been watching it all day from my window. I've been watching it all day. I've been watching kids walking around. I've been watching everybody socialising. I'm screaming out of the window at people who I know, saying, please, just get home. Don't be walking around. You don't need to be out.
No, what, Sean? He keeps talking about what it's about keeping the economy going. So
we haven't got one now. That's gone.
But this is what I'm going to say. Keep the economy open. What about the barbers and the salons? Because there's more of us than there's construction workers. So
yeah.
If you're going to keep one economy open, keep ours open, not theirs. So this is where it's unfair for me. If you're going to do a lockdown, it's got to be a lockdown for everybody.
Totally agree.
A select few. And it wouldn't surprise me if the MPs have got shares or directorships in some of these construction companies anyway, which is why I think they're still open.
Well, I was speaking to someone earlier on, and they basically own the government, don't they? These building companies, they're in so many people's pockets. You know, this is coming from my old man, who's quite a reliable source on that, and he knows what's going on. He's not stupid. He's working. Exactly. He's working. My dad's working high levels of the police. Do you know what I mean? So he knows what's going on. I don't like to say too much. He gives me little bits of information here and there, but again, it's so difficult, Mark, because if people don't realise that, the Axel have just opened up now. They've just put 4,000 beds in. I was talking about it earlier on, and they are looking at high numbers, and they're not. What I said on my Facebook earlier was the government aren't taking it seriously, so people aren't taking it seriously. So because the government aren't taking it seriously, people are still going out. And so a woman walked past all these people earlier where they're waiting outside Tesco's, and she went to walk in, and she slammed into the door. It was closed. And I started laughing, and she's like, what's going on? And someone said, oh, no, they closed it to clean it. They're cleaning it like 2-3 hours a day. They're shutting it down to clean it, and they're doing one in, one out. And she was horrified. She had to wait in queue. And she's like, I need this, I need that. And I'm watching her thinking, the fruit and veg is open. If you need nappies and milk and there, just go to the fruit and veg. Why do you have to go to Tesco's? The young people now are so narrow-minded that if Tesco's isn't open, they go home. They don't realise there's 2 other shops open.
Right, exactly. It's all they know, isn't it? But, it's not just the elderly. I see some of the elderly still out. There was a picture on Facebook today, a seaside resort, and there must have been a few hundred out. A few hundred. All walking across the promenade and across the beach. You just think...
But one person can contaminate 200 people in a day. That's how quick it's going. This is why they're not telling people.
2.5, then it goes to 100, then it goes to 500. It's just madness. We've been on lockdown. My wife's been out once in 5 days since Saturday, when we decided that that's it, we were on complete lockdown. We saw my father-in-law, dropped a parcel off for him. Mother-in-law we saw days before all this kicked off. So we've self-isolated since Saturday. My wife went out the first time this morning, 7:30, local co-op, a few bits and pieces, and that was just done. And that's how everybody should be running a life at the moment. And the quicker it is, because then we can go back and start earning money. But you know what? It drives me mad, because life is unfair. We've got 3.5 million civil servants. And I'm talking about the desk job, not talking about NHS or fire service or police. But the ones who work in the offices, who have been laid off, but still on full pay because they're civil servants. And yet employees of private businesses can only get 80% if the employer can't afford to give them 20%, or laid off. And the self-employed, at the moment, they've had nothing. So that's even worse. So it makes my blood boil when you've got people like that who are moaning, but then going out because they're all right, because they're employed, they're getting paid. It's us that has sacrificed everything, and we don't know whether we're going to go back to a business as it was. So it's unreal. It's unreal. The only thing I can say is we've got to take the positives, that we can have a hand in our industry now of trying to sculpt it, change it. I think we've got to get it into universities. I think we've got to get it looked at properly. We should be on the same levels as doctors. Excuse the pun, because you are the shade doctor. But barbers should be taken way more seriously. So is hairdressers. This is a good opportunity now to really rise up our industry and get to where we need to be as a vocal voice. I'm just hoping that we survive this. I locked down Thursday. On Thursday, and ironically, my last client was called Tank. Yes, I saw that. I know.
Crazy.
Yeah, it could be quite ironic, because there could be army on the streets the next couple of weeks.
It's going to be army on the streets. If they don't go to their houses, it's going to be army on the streets. The ones who are out are a massive high risk. They don't realise. My friend Dave, he didn't actually say to me, but he had been risking it. He was saying, oh, it was just like you, Sean. 2 weeks ago, I was saying it's just a virus. It's just going to pass. I was going out. I was saying it's just a bollocks. It's all propaganda. And then, his people around him are in hospital, and people have died who he knows.
Well, so the one thing I did see today is that a 21-year-old's died today with no underlying illness.
No underlying health problems. If you cannot, get someone to go to the shop for you, if you are ill, you've got to call out and ask people for help. Because if you're watching this, guys, and you've got coronavirus, please don't go out. Please don't go into the community. Try and get someone to bring you food to your door. Do it through the letterbox. Don't have any human contact. Make sure you wash and wipe yourself right down. We do not want this to spread. Please, guys, you have to take this seriously. Mark, any advice and tips for people to stay healthy? What's the doctor's recommendations, my friend?
I'll tell you what, the one thing I have seen, which is really, really useful, is drink plenty, but drink hot liquids rather than cold, because the hot liquids will help kill the virus in your mouth that's lying in the mouth, maybe. And they say actually it flushes the virus into your gut. The acid will kill it anyway, rather than actually lie there and then all of a sudden you're inhaling it and it then starts to go into the lungs. So that's what we've been doing. So mixture between hot and cold. I've been making the boys have a cup of hot drinks a day, with a cup of tea, whatever it is. So for me, that's important. But just to stay in, Sean, I mean, yes, we're all...
It's not hard, is it? It's not hard. It's not hard.
It's now. And it's funny, if I said to somebody this morning, I mean, they came back with a one-liner which sort of doused me flames a little bit. But I said, can you imagine what it'd been like in the war, in the Blitz? And then
getting bombarded and they got a ration.
And there's no technology, for like you and I talking now. And
but they've never known technology, so they've never missed it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to make the difference, you see. And then she said, well, in them days, at least you could hug each other. And I thought that was a good point, So there is a lot of difference. But you know what? I'd rather be stuck indoors for the next I think it's going to be longer than 3 weeks. I think we're going to be here till possibly mid-May. So it could be another couple of months. So I'd rather be stuck here, and then come the end of May, beginning of June, then the country then could start getting back to some kind of normality, and then we're all going back and earning some money again.
Definitely, my friend. Definitely, my friend. And again, it's been a great interview. We're running out of time now, Mark. Final thoughts. My final question is, obviously, if this didn't happen, what was your plans for this year? Were you going to be doing any of the shows? When you be doing the shows?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I had a torrid, challenging 2 years with a project, and luckily that got put to bed in January. And then February came, and then we had the Small Business Awards, and I picked it up, and Kemi went out and said, yes! And you're just thinking, back on track, 2020, new decade.
It's my year, that's what I thought.
Then a week later, exactly,
John SWEENEYTV moaning at me.
7 days after, all of a sudden, coronavirus. And it's like, and then 2 weeks after, I've had to close the business. So I'm just hoping that we can get through these torrid, tough weeks, and then come the summer, hopefully the summer can start killing this bloody horrible thing off, and then the last 6 months, maybe 4 or 5 months of the year, I can get back to where I was. There's a couple of projects that I'm working on that I want to bring to fruition. Obviously, they're put on hold now, but where we just start to get the momentum.
I was hoping to watch you on Netflix as well, my friend.
So that was the next project, yes.
I know. I'm gutted. It looks so good as well, mate. I was first when I seen it, I was like, yes, finally, someone who I know's on Netflix. Crazy. But big love. The SWEENEYTV fans will love this interview. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube, so this will be on the this will be Sweeney's Barbershop Academy page on YouTube. I've got a very small amount of subscribers, so Mark, if you could help me get some subscribers,
we'll try and get some over for you.
There's some brilliant interviews on there. You've got Chris Foster's on there, Alan Stone's on there, you've got Razor Rob's on there. You'll be on there now. I'm gonna record the Tom Baxter one. I'm gonna go back through the barber posts and try and get like some of the other barbers I had, like Antilla Barber and all these other barbers as well, try and get them all on there. Now I've got loads of time to sit there scrolling.
But what we need to do, I'm taking notes, I'm sure you will be, and I'm sure, Simon down there, the Barber Davis, keep well as well yourself, is that we need to look at how, and listen, Chris Foster's been on, he's part of some of this, organisation, association that wants to change how we work, but listen, we need to modernise barbering, and certainly the area I'm in, because I think there's more people now looking to go into grooming. It's not just about barbering now, grooming. So we need to do something.
Amen. I back it. We'll be a good team, me and you, brother. Big things to come, man. You got the knowledge, I got the mouth. We'll get there.
Who's got the looks?
Okay.
Rob.
Hey, there's a big age difference there, my friend. So when I get to your age, I'll, hopefully I still won't have any grey hair. Look, I still won't have any grey hair. I got a bit of receding.
Mine was full colour until coronavirus. I'm
nearly 40, so I'm not doing too bad.
You're not. You're just like me, and all of a sudden after 40, it just goes downhill, mate.
Hey, they said that at 30. Mark, we're literally running out of time now, buddy. It's been brilliant. SWEENEYTV. Mark Sproston.
Sproston. Well, you were saying
Sproston.
Yes.
Mark Sproston, the Shave Doctor. What an amazing interview. Diolch yn fawr from Wales. Thank you, my friend.
Stay safe, my friend. Stay safe, Rob. All you on there.
Take care. Thank you, buddy. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay, guys, SWEENEYTV, and thank you very much for everybody who has been watching. Sean Swiss Sweeney, the HQ. I'm going back on the deck, so make sure you check out my live feed on Facebook. I'm going to be doing another